Hello everyone, welcome to this video lecture of this course Heat Transfer. So in the earlier lecture, when we started this module radiation, then we have discussed the concept of radiation, then different surface emission properties, then different types of body like grey body, black body, white body, what are those, their different examples, then the relation between absorptivity, emissivity, reflectivity. So all these different things we have discussed. After that, different laws we have seen in radiation, like the Stephen Boltzmann law, then the Owens displacement law, Planck's law, Kirchhoff's law. So all these different laws and their formula, so we have seen earlier. So today, based on those different laws, we will discuss different numericals. Okay, so let us start today's lecture. So the first numerical says that we need to calculate the following for an industrial furnace in the form of a black body and emitting radiation at 2500 degrees centigrade. So five things are given here that we need to calculate. Number one is monochromatic emissive power at 1.2 micrometer length, then wavelength at which the emission is maximum, then maximum emissive power, then total emissive power, and lastly the total emissive power of the furnace if it is assumed as a real surface with emissivity equal to 0.9. So these five different things we need to calculate here. So what is this emissive power or total emissive power? What is the formula for maximum emissive power? Then what is emissivity? The concept of all these different terminology we have discussed earlier, and the formula to calculate all these five different things is also studied earlier. So today it is the application part. It is we need to apply those formulas to solve this numerical. So the temperature given here, it is 2500 degrees centigrade. So in Kelvin it is 2773 Kelvin. Then lambda wavelength, it is given 1.2 micrometer, and emissivity which is given as 0.9. So first we need to calculate the monochromatic emissive power at 1.2 micrometer length, and its notation is E suffix F lambda whole suffix B. Now to calculate this monochromatic emissive power, we need to use the Planck's law. So what is the formula for this Planck's law? So the formula for this Planck's law, it is C1 lambda to the power minus 5 divided by e to the power C2 divided by lambda t minus 1. So this is the formula according to Planck's law. Now here the value of C1 and C2, these are some default value that we need to remember. So C1, this is equals to 0.3742 multiplied into 10 to the power minus 15 watt to the power 4 by m square, and C2, this is equals to 1.4388 into 10 to the power minus 2 mk. So these default values for C1 and C2 we need to remember. Now if we put these values in the formula of the Planck's law, then we are getting that C1 and C2, these are, we need to remember the values for the C1 and C2. Then lambda, this is 1.2 micrometer, it is given in this question, and the value of capital T, it is 2773. So putting the values of C1, C2, lambda and capital T in the formula of the Planck's law, we are getting the monochromatic emissive power. This is coming as 2.014 into the power 12 watt per meter square. So By using the formula of the Planck's law, we have calculated this first part, that is the monochromatic emissive power at 1.2 micrometer length. So for the second one, we need to calculate the wavelength at which the emission is maximum, that is lambda max we need to calculate. So how to calculate this lambda max? It is the maximum wavelength, means the wavelength at which the emission is maximum. So for that we need to use the Owen's displacement law. So in case of Owen's displacement law, it was lambda max multiplied by t, it is equals to 2898. So it was the formula for the Owen's displacement law. So from that we can calculate the lambda max. This is equals to 2898 divided by capital T. Now the value of this capital T, it is given in this question, it is 2773. Now if we put this value here, then the value of this wavelength at which the emission is maximum, it is coming as 1.045 micrometer. So by using the Owen's displacement law, we have calculated this lambda max. Then for this number 3, we need to calculate the maximum emissive power, that is capital E suffix lambda b max. So in that case, the formula for this maximum emissive power, this is equals to 1.285 into 10 to the power minus 5 multiplied by t to the power 5 watt per meter square per meter length. So this is the formula for maximum emissive power. Now here the value of capital T, that is the temperature, it is given in this question 2773. So if we put this value here, then we will be getting the maximum emissive power. This is coming as 2.1 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 watt per meter square per meter length. Next, we need to calculate the total emissive power. So to calculate the total emissive power, the formula that is written as sigma T to the power 4, this is the formula of Stefan-Boltzmann law actually. So the Stefan-Boltzmann law we have studied earlier, that so makes emissive power is proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature, the emissive power of a black body. So using this formula of Stefan-Boltzmann law, EB, this is equals to sigma T to the power 4. Now the sigma, it is the Stefan-Boltzmann constant. So this default value we need to remember, it is 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square k to the power 4 is the value of sigma. Now if we put the value of T here, then we are getting the total emissive power. This is actually 3.352 into 10 to the power 6 watt per meter square. So by using the Stefan-Boltzmann law, we have calculated this total emissive power. Lastly, we need to calculate the total emissive power E when the value of emissivity is given 0.9. Now when the value of emissivity is given 0.9, in that case the total emissive power's formula, it will be sigma epsilon multiplied by sigma T to the power 4. Now the value of sigma T to the power 4 is already calculated, so that value we need to multiply it by epsilon, that is 0.9. So ultimately we are getting the value of total emissive power as 3.017 into 10 to the power 6 watt per meter square. So to solve this first numerical, we have used all the concept of different laws that we have studied in case of this radiation, like Planck's law for the first part. Then for the second part we have used the Stefan-Boltzmann law. Then for the fourth part, fourth and fifth part actually, we have used the concept of Stefan-Boltzmann law, and for the second part actually we have used the Owen's displacement law. So these three different laws we have used here. Okay. So this type of numerical, it is very common for semester exam. So in this type of numerical, to solve or to find the values, we need to remember all the different laws that we have studied in the first chapter of the radiation. like Stephen-Boltzmann law, then Planck's law, then Owen's displacement law. So all these relations, their concept, their formula we need to remember to solve such numerical. Let us move to the next page. What is given here? The next question: a black body emits radiation at 2000 Kelvin. We need to calculate the monochromatic emissive power at 1 micrometer wavelength, then wavelength at which the emission is maximum, and the maximum emissive power. So these three things we need to calculate in this second numerical. So this is similar type of numerical that we have discussed just now. So for the first case, to solve or to find the value of the monochromatic emissive power at 1 micrometer wavelength, we need to use the concept and the formula of the Planck's law. So the formula of the Planck's law, E suffix b lambda, this is equals to C1 lambda to the power minus 5 by divided by e to the power C2 by lambda t minus 1. So in this case we need to remember the value of C1 and C2. These are some default value in case of this Planck's law, and the value of this lambda, it is given here 1 micrometer, and the value of this capital T, that is temperature, it is given 2000 Kelvin. Now if we put all these values in the formula of this Planck's law, then we are getting the value of the monochromatic emissive power at 1 micrometer wavelength is coming as 2.79 into 10 to the power 11 watt per meter cube. So for the second part, we need to calculate the wavelength at which the emission is maximum. Now to calculate this part, we need to use the formula of the Owen's displacement law. Now in case of the Owen's displacement law, the relation was lambda max into T. This is equals to 2.898 into 10 to the minus 3 meter Kelvin. So if we use this formula of the Owen's displacement law, then to calculate the lambda max, that is the wavelength at which the emission is maximum, it can be calculated as 1.449 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter. And lastly, we need to calculate the maximum emissive power. So to calculate the maximum emissive power, we need to again use the Planck's law. So it is C1 lambda max to the power minus 5 divided by e to the power C2 by lambda max into T minus 1. Now in this case, to calculate the maximum emissive power, we are using the maximum value of the lambda. So the maximum value of lambda is already calculated in the second part using the Owen's displacement law. So the lambda max, it is actually 1.449 10 to the power minus 6, which we will put here in this third part. And the value of capital T, this is 2000 Kelvin. Now using these values in this Planck's law, we can calculate the maximum emissive power, which is coming as 4.1 in 10 to the power 11 watt per meter cube. So this is the similar kind of numerical with the first one. So in this case also we have used the concept of the Planck's law, then the concept of the Owen's displacement law, and ultimately again using that value of the lambda max from the Owen's displacement law, we have applied the Planck's law for the third part. So the formula related to all these laws of the radiation, like Stephen-Boltzmann law, then Owen's displacement law, then Planck's law, Kirchhoff's law, so all these formula and their concept, these are very much required to solve such numericals. So Let us move to the next numerical. So the question says that the filament of a 75 watt light bulb may be considered a black body radiating into a black enclosure at 70 degrees centigrade. Okay, so the filament diameter is given as 0.1 millimeter and length is 50 millimeter. Now considering the radiation, we need to determine the filament temperature. So this is the question given here. So the filament of a 75 watt light bulb. So that means the Q, this is given as 75 watt. Then T2, this is given as 70 degrees centigrade, that is 343 Kelvin. Then the filament diameter, it is given here 0.1 millimeter, and the length of the filament, it is given 50 millimeter. Now T1, it is the filament temperature. T2, it is the temperature of the black body, and T2, it is actually the temperature of the black enclosure, and T1, it is the filament temperature, and epsilon 1, this is equals to 1. Now obviously the radiation will be in the black enclosure and from the black body, so epsilon 1, this is equals to 1 here, the emissivity. So in that case, the formula to calculate the radiation that we will consider here, this is actually Q equals to sigma epsilon A T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4. So this type of formula we have seen earlier. So to calculate the radiation, considering the Stefan-Boltzmann constant and emissivity, and considering the area of the given object, we need to use this formula, that is Q equals to sigma epsilon A T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4. Now in this numerical, Q, it is given here, that is 75. Then sigma, it is the Stefan-Boltzmann constant that we have studied in Stefan-Boltzmann law. So that value, constant value of the Stefan-Boltzmann constant, we need to remember, which is 5.67 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square k to the power 4. Next, emissivity, this is equals to 1, considering the surface properties here, which are black enclosure or black body. Next, the area. So for this filament, we can calculate the area here, because the diameter and length of this filament, these are given. So using those value of the parameters, we can calculate the area of the filament, and the value of T1 we need to calculate, that is the filament temperature, and the value of T2, this is given in this question, which is 343. Now if we put all these values in this considered equation, then after 2 or 3 steps we will be getting the value of the filament temperature is 3029 Kelvin. So it can be represented in degree centigrade also, which is 2756 degrees centigrade. So this is the procedure to determine the filament temperature here, considering the radiation. So we need to remember the value of the Stefan-Boltzmann constant, and considering the surface properties here, which are black body and black enclosure, so the emissivity, this will be equals to 1 here. So these are the things that we need to consider in this numerical. Let us move to the next page. So here in the right hand side we can see concentric cylinder. This type of diagram is given. So what the question says that three thin walled infinitely long hollow cylinders of radii 5 cm, 10 cm and 15 cm are arranged concentrically as shown in figure 12.35. So for these three concentric cylinders which can be seen in this diagram, their radius are given as 5, 10 and 15 centimeters respectively. And the temperature for the surface or cylinder 1, that is the innermost cylinder, so T1 is given 1000 Kelvin and T3 this is given 300 Kelvin. Now we need to assume that emissivities for these three concentric cylinders, these are 0.05 and vacuum in the spaces between the cylinders. So we need to calculate the steady state temperature of cylindrical surface 2, that is T2 we need to calculate, and heat flow per meter square area of cylinder 1. So these are the two different things that we need to calculate here considering the three concentric cylinders. Now let us first write what are the things given in this question. So if we consider this innermost cylinder as 1, so in that case R1 is 5 centimeter, then R2 it is 10 centimeter, and R3 that is the radius of the outermost cylinder, it is 15 centimeter. The temperature of the innermost cylinder it is given 1000 Kelvin, and T3 that is the temperature of the outermost cylinder it is given 300 Kelvin. And the emissivities for these three different cylinders, these are given as 0.05. Now from the concept of steady state heat flow, we know that Q1 to 2 this is equals to Q2 to 3. So the formulas for this Q12 and Q23 which we have studied earlier, so those formula you can write here: A1 sigma T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 minus epsilon 1 divided by epsilon 1 plus 1 by F12 plus 1 minus epsilon 2 divided by epsilon 2 into A1 by A2. So considering the cylindrical surfaces and considering different factors of the different interface factor, the gravity factor, different factors we have studied earlier and their formulas we have seen also. So we have used those formulas here. One table we have seen earlier where for different shape the formula of the different factors these were given. So we have used the formula here. Now in this case F12 this is equals to F23 this is equals to 1. Now what will be the ratio of the area of the cylinder 1 and 2? So A1 by A2 this will be equals to R1 by R2. Whereas the values of R1 and R2 these are given in this question, so we can get A1 by A2 this is equals to 0.5. In this similar manner we can calculate the value of A2 by A3. This is actually R ratio of R2 by R3, so this is actually 0.67. Now in the formula that we have seen in this earlier page where it was A1 sigma T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4, so A is 2 pi RL. In case of A1 it is 2 pi R1L, and in case of A2 it is 2 pi R2L. Then all the other values like T1, then epsilon 1, F12, all the other things are actually given or we have calculated in this numerical. So it is seen that only the value of T2 it is only remaining to find here. So several steps here we need to perform. So after certain step we will get one equation, that is 1000 minus x to the power 4, this is equals to 1.8 into x to the power 4 minus 81, where we have considered that x equals to 9854.2 divided by 2.8 to the power 1/4. So this x, this is T2 by 100. So for calculation purpose we have considered this T2 by 100, this is actually equals to x. So that value of x we got is 7.7. So that means T2 by 100, this is we are getting a 7.7 after several steps. So finally we are getting the temperature of the second concentric cylinder. This is coming as 770 Kelvin. Now for the second and last part of this numerical, we need to calculate the heat flow per meter square area of cylinder 1. So that is the formula of Q12 actually, that is A1 sigma T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by A1 minus epsilon 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1, that is actually F12, so that is 1 here, then 1 minus epsilon 2 divided by epsilon 2 multiplied by A1 by A2. Now in this equation all the values are known to us, and the value of T2 it is also calculated for the first part of this numerical, so which we got as 770 Kelvin. Now using all these values in this formula of Q12, we have calculated the value of Q12, it is 1246.4 watt. So this is the heat flow per meter square area of cylinder 1. So this is the procedure actually here in this numerical to calculate the temperature of the cylindrical surface 2 and the heat flow per meter square area of cylinder 1. So we need to remember this formula of this radiation heat transfer for the cylindrical surface. So let us move to the next numerical. So what it is given here, a spherical ball 6 centimeter in diameter and 310 Kelvin is placed inside a large spherical furnace at 600 Kelvin. So this is given in this diagram. A spherical ball, it is placed inside a large spherical furnace. So R1 it is the diameter of the spherical ball, and R2 it is the diameter of the spherical furnace, the larger one. Now we need to estimate the diameter of the spherical furnace, that is R2, 2R2, that is D2, such that, okay, so here R is considered as the diameter. So we need to estimate the diameter of the spherical furnace, that is R2, we need to calculate such that 20% of the energy emitted by the furnace reaches the spherical ball. So to estimate this part we need to assume the surfaces as black. Now, what is the net exchange of energy between the two surfaces? So the temperature for these two different surfaces, that is for the ball and the furnace, these are given in this numerical, that is T1 is 310 Kelvin and T2 is given as 600 Kelvin. So R1, that is the diameter of this spherical ball, it is given as 6 centimeter, and R2, that is the diameter of the larger spherical furnace, we need to calculate. Now in the shape factor algebra, if we use its concept, the principle of conservation from the shape factor algebra, then you can write that f11 plus f12 this is equals to 1. Now f11, as these are considered as f11, this is equals to 0 because these surfaces are considered as black and these are some spherical surface. So f11 this is equals to 0, and now if we put this value of f11, then we are getting f12. It is the fraction of radiation emitting from surface 1 which is reaching the surface 2. So this is actually equals to 1. Now we have written one formula, that is A1F12 equals to A2F21. So this is the formula of the reciprocity theorem that we have studied earlier. So using that reciprocity theorem, we can calculate F21, because F12 this is 1 actually, so F21 this is equals to the ratio of the area for these two different surfaces, that is A1 by A2. Now the energy emitted by the inside surface of the sphere, that is A2E2, and the fraction reaching the spherical ball is 0.2 A2E2, because in this question it is given that 20% of the energy emitted by the furnace reaches the spherical ball. So F21 this is equals to 0.2 equals to A1 by A2. So the formula for the area of these spheres you can write here. Now ultimately we can calculate the diameter of the large spherical furnace, which is coming as 6.71 centimeter. So if this R2, this is actually the radius here, so the diameter will be twice this radius, so the diameter is 13.42 centimeter. That is for the large spherical furnace. Now for the second part of this numerical, you need to calculate the net exchange of energy between the two surfaces. So the formula here that we need to use, that is Q12, this is sigma A1 F12 into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4. Now this sigma, it is the Stefan-Boltzmann constant. Then the area we can calculate for this spherical surface, and F12 this is actually 1, and T1 and T2 these are given in this numerical. Now if we put all these values here, then we are getting that Q1 this is equals to minus 77.195 watt. So that means ultimately the energy is transferred in the opposite side, not from 1 to 2, that is actually transferring from 2 to 1. Okay, so these are the steps by which we have discussed different numericals in this session. So we have used the formula of Stefan-Boltzmann law, then Planck's law, then Owen's displacement law, and the concept of the shape factor algebra, then the formula of the radiation heat transfer for different types of surfaces, whether it is for cylindrical surface or it is from spherical surface. So for these different surfaces, the formula of the radiation heat transfer, considering the interface factor, gravity factor, all these things we need to remember to solve the various numerical of this radiation. Okay, so this is the end for this lecture.